Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Adolescence. Welcome back to another video. So spring is finally here. I couldn't be more excited to start wearing my citrusy and floral fragrances. And of course, whenever I think of spring, I think of flowers in bloom. I know I've said that on my channel before. And so I'm really excited for these top 10 fragrances that I'm going to be wearing a lot over the next 3 months or so. I'm excited to tell you what they are, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin this video and I tell you all about my top 10 favorite spring niche fragrances for 2021, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like top 10 lists just like this, but also giveaways, unboxing, reviews, special guests, and more, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner. And of course, while you're at it, make sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell icon as well. I also want to mention that if you are interested in getting samples of many of these fragrances, you may do so at scentsplit.com. They are a decant website. I use them quite often. I've been using them for many years now. They have fantastic service, 100% authentic products at really good prices, and they ship very quickly as well. So these are fragrances that I am unquestionably going to be wearing over the next few months while it still stays kind of lukewarm, not entirely hot like the summer, because it can tend to be quite hot here in New Jersey, but it's also not too cold either. And so the winter is behind us finally. I am feeling content. So let's go ahead and start off the list. And of course, I'm going to put this in the number 10 spot because if I don't, it's always going to remain in the top 3. And this is a staple for everyone, I think. This is Green Irish Tweed by Creed. Iris, Lemon Verbena, Violet, gentlemanly, masculine, one of my favorite fragrances of all time. Everybody knows the power and allure of Green Irish Tweed by Creed, a 1985 composition. This is one that I'm super happy. I'm ecstatic to have this in my collection. I will never be without this bottle in my collection. Definitely the king of spring, as many have called it, including myself in the past. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is actually a new acquisition. And when I reviewed this one, I mentioned that I was going to hold off until the spring to wear it. I do think now is the best time to wear this one by Tom Ford, part of the private blend line. This is called Tuberose Nue. Now, of course, I love some of their brighter, more citrusy fragrances. Mandarino di Amalfi, Neroli Portofino is okay. I also really enjoy Costa Azzurra. I actually have the bottle from the Signature collection. I'm going to be wearing that a lot once it starts to get a little bit warmer outside. But this is a very starchy tuberose note. Very starchy. It has that unique texture about it. And of course, being as though it is a floral dominant perfume, I definitely look forward to wearing this one a lot more during these months and this season, just because I feel like this could be a little bit overwhelming in the summertime just because the tuberose is so abundant and it's so strong. It really packs a punch in this fragrance. And so if you're a fan of starchy floral / tuberose perfumes, definitely check this one out. I think it might be to your liking. The next one is a fragrance that I wore all throughout the spring of last year, one of my favorites of all time. And yes, I will admit that I am biased here. This is a fragrance that I directly worked on, and this one by Navitus Parfums is called Lautus. Lautus means chic or elegant. You can tell I actually wore a lot of this one, and I also completely depleted the mod bottle that was sent to me by the perfumer Bertrand Duchaufour, whom I had the pleasure of meeting in person in February of 2020 before the lockdown. Such an amazing individual. This is a beautiful, natural smelling lavender with this vanilla absolute in the base. It's creamy, it's a little spicy. There's this unique note of cascarilla in here as well. Much different from anything that I have ever smelled. It's just really chic, very refined, elegant. It reminds me of, really attending the most formal scenario, dressed, to impress, dressed at my best. And I really love this one, Lautus. The next one that I'm going to talk about is by Parfum Quartana, and this one is called Lily of the Valley. So, of course, this is a lily-based perfume, but it also has this leather accord in the base, and so it's a really awesome juxtaposition. So it opens up kind of floral. There's an element of sweetness about it as well, but in the base, you have this spicy leather nuance going on. that makes you think like, oh wow, this is a floral with some weight to it, with some body to it. It's a really unique floral perfume. If you have the chance to sample it, please do. I think this is an awesome fragrance from the company. I also, of course, really love Mandrake and Wolfsbane, and Digitalis and Hemlock is another really good one as well. And I'm typically not a fan of floral perfumes, but something about the lily in here just smells so bright and spellbinding. I really love it. The next one by Cinque Canto is called Isotta. Now this has this minty eucalyptus vibe about it. It has a very old school sort of a feel to it. Not in terms of it smelling like a fragrance that would have been released in the 70s or 80s, but there's a very antique vibe about it, as though the formula itself has been preserved for a long time. I really don't know how to explain it. And I know I was fumbling over my words when I described it in a previous video as well, but this is really an amazing fragrance. At times it's woodsy, at times it's a little earthy, at times it's citrusy, and at other times it just comes across smelling a little minty, like camphorous, like I'm getting like this eucalyptus vibe in here. Really an amazing perfume by Cinque Canto. The perfumer is Paolo Terenzi, and I think he did an incredible job with this one. So the next one comes from the Parisian house BDK Parfums, and this is a house that I've spoken about on my channel many times in the past. Of course, I love Wood Jasmine and Rouge Smoking and Pas Ce Soir, but this is one that is a little bit more floral leaning, and so the others might be a little bit on the sweet side, like Rouge Smoking, and then Wood Jasmine is, of course, a little bit on that plum resinous side, but this one is a little bit more on the floral side with some really nice floral nuances, and also this note of kind of like a citrusy note. Is it called quince or quince? I think it's quince chutney, it says on the website. This one is called Bouquet de Hongrie. And my wife smelled this one too, and she fell in love with this one. It's a very creamy floral fragrance. At times I get like nuances of pear. It smells a little jasmine-y to my nose, smells a little rosy too. Really an incredible fragrance. The next one is one that came out just a month ago or something, but I actually had the pleasure of smelling this one back in January of 2021. And this one by the company Initio Parfum Privé is called Musk Therapy. Now, I gotta be honest with you, the two fragrances from Initio that I think are fantastic for the spring are High Frequency and this one. High Frequency is a beautiful jasmine almond combination with a very natural smelling jasmine. This, on the other hand, is of course about the musk, but there is this blackcurrant / cassis note in here that is absolutely amazing. It's a little musky, it's a little herbal, it's a little earthy, but it has this underlying sweetness about it that works hand in hand with the musk very delightfully. And so I'm really looking forward to wearing Musk Therapy quite a bit over the next few months. Now we're getting into the number 3. Of course, all of these fragrances are special for me and to me in their own way. But the number 3 fragrance is one that I acquired late last year. I believe it might have been October or November. And I already put a significant dent in this bottle. This is an orange blossom based perfume, but it's done in the most breathtaking way. It's citrusy, it's floral, it has some long-lasting woods in the base. It's a very resolute composition. This one by the Italian brand Antonio Croce is called Meraviglia. Another fragrance that you've heard me talk about on my channel a couple of times already. And this brand has a lot of amazing fragrances. Unica, Perfetta, Straordinaria is another one, but this one, Meraviglia, means marvel or marvelous. And this is such an amazing, intoxicating floral perfume. It has the orange blossom, it has a little bit of neroli, kind of like this neroli petitgrain vibe, but it also has this very clean, really amazing organic jasmine note in here in combination with the orange blossom that just leaves me speechless every time I smell this one. It's such an incredible fragrance, one of my favorites of all time. And it's really hard to pick my favorite. It really just is based off of my emotions and how I feel on any given day, but this one is absolutely amazing. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is by the company Tiziana Terenzi, and this one from the Sea Stars collection is called Atlantide. Now, this is quite an expensive fragrance. If you have the opportunity to sample it, I definitely recommend sampling it. But there is tuberose, narcissus, jasmine. It is this bountiful bouquet of floral ingredients, absolutely gorgeous, and it smells so natural, so organic, and you can tell with the price tag that it bears, it absolutely makes sense why it's so expensive, because it just smells like you're in a flower garden where a bunch of varieties of different flowers are blooming all around you. And it just feels like you're in paradise. It feels like you're in heaven. It's such an amazing fragrance. And I own quite a few from this collection. I own Orza, and I also own Poggia is another one, but this one is absolutely stunning. I personally love it. And the number one fragrance on this list is number one because I know for a fact that I'm going to be wearing it for a week straight. I'm actually bringing this one with me on vacation. I'm going to be vacationing in Bryson City, North Carolina from April 2nd to April 10th. And this is the only fragrance that I'm bringing with me. And so I know I'm going to be wearing this one for a week straight. So I put it in the number one spot just so I can have some accuracy to this list, if you will. And this one by the company Nishane is called Ege, or Egeo. And so it has the Turkish, but it also has the Greek. So this is inspired by the Aegean Sea. This is actually also made by a Greek perfumer, despite the fact that it is a Turkish company. And I personally own many Nishane fragrances, including Hachevat. I also have Vain and Naive. There are a lot of really wonderful options to be worn in the springtime, but this one with the citrus and the yuzu that's in here and the mint, the basil, the aromatic notes, it just really puts me in the mindset of spring. And it's such an amazing and unique fragrance, and I can't emphasize that enough, especially in a time where it feels like there's an element of similarity among so many fragrances in the industry and in the market. This one really stands out as being an incredibly unique composition, and I personally could not be more satisfied with this acquisition. And so I'm really excited to be wearing this one in the next few months, but I know I'm going to be wearing it consistently every single day between April 2nd and April 10th, give or take. And so I'm so excited to have had the opportunity to share my top 10 favorite niche spring fragrances for 2021 with you. If you have any favorites or any that you've been wearing already, because we are into spring actually, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what fragrances have you been wearing this spring, and also which fragrances are you excited to wear in the upcoming months. And also please keep in mind that if you are interested in sampling many of these fragrances, you may do so at scentsplit.com. I'm going to be leaving all of their information down below. They are a fantastic company, fast shipping, 100% authentic products, and really good prices. Thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate your viewership. If you are new to this channel and you took something of value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner. And of course, while you're at it, please be sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. Thanks again for watching. Love you all. We'll see you soon. Bye.